Hello again. Today we're going to continue with our Bookshaped box project, and we will be painting today using different metallic paints. As you remember, this is our project so far. So we have the leather effect and we have the stencil on the front, and that's what we will be painting today. But before we start, I'd like to show you some types of different metallic paints and what's basically what the difference is. So let's start with, well, you can get metallic paints from many different companies. There is Marabou, which is a German brand, easily available in Lidl, and they make some metallic paints. You can get just the very simple ones in any kind of the arts and craft stores near you. This one is the English one, and then there is Stamperia, of course. There is Daily Art, there is Pentart. There are those leading companies, and there is Cadence, one of my favorite brands, and recently I started using the Art Alchemy paints from Finba from Prima Marketing. Apart from painting paints like metallic paints, there are also paints that are called actually gilding paints, and again we have Cadence, and I have quite a few of Star Wax. Now, what's the difference between the metallic paints and gilding paints? The gilding paints are not that strong, and I will demonstrate that. What's the difference in covering different. We'll try to use similar colors. So let's say this is the simple paint from a local there shop. Now this is the German one. You can see that the consistency can be also a bit different, and then I'm gonna use this. No, maybe I'll use just a second. Some nice gold. Okay, these are paints, and now this is the gilding. This one. They're a bit more liquid, and they don't cover that well. Now you can already see that this one actually is not that bad, but if you see it on a dark, it really doesn't cover totally. You can still see the background through, while if you go for this is another one from the gilding paints. Maybe I should try this color. And yeah, so it's not total coverage. It's nice as the finishing touch, but it's not that dark and thick paint. In comparison, if you go for example, Cadence, and again they come in different types. There is some of them are called just metallic paints, some are called, that's the same, some are called extreme highlight metallic paint. This is highlight magic, diamond, and then there is of course Dora, which is the strongest. They come in all sorts of colors, beautiful, different beautiful shades, even like with shades of gold. You can have lots of them. I don't have all the colors, but still, just to give you an idea of it, they are nice selection. And if you look at the consistency of this one, they're very thick, and even if it's just a little bit, it's total coverage. You can't see any background shining through, and even on the dark it's the same. And it's the same with Art Alchemy paints from Finber, from Prima Marketing. They are very strong, very nice coverage paints. I know that the jars are quite small, but actually the paint is very effective. So you literally need just a small drop, and you can do a lot with it. And again, you can see this color here, that just a tiny drop of it, it just covers background, whether white or dark, extremely well. Now the next type of metallic paints is some of the companies, most of them nowadays actually make what they call opal magic or chameleon effect or twin magic paints. They are metallic, and they always have two shades. Like this one is green gold, so we have that shimmering effect of both colors, and I also have violet green, and they give that nice opal finish touch. I have only those two at the moment, but I'll just show you the maybe a little bit of this one on dark and on white. Now on white you can see it's kind of more green, on black it looks more gold, but it depends what angle you would be looking at it, and has that nice shimmering effect. How can you use the metallic paints? Well, pretty much as any other paint. Like, for example, I used 3 different colors for this one, and I just painted one color first and with the brush, and then another color on top of it, still with the brush. Then I used a bit of sponge with the third color, the little bit of bristle spray with yet another one. So just painting over that was a stenciled background. Metallic paints, or even those gilding paints, they are very nice also for using them. You can use them on the molds. I have a few simple molds here from air dry clay, and I'll show you what which brush. I'll show you what kind of nice colors you can get, even if you mix, especially if you mix a few of them. So let's take a bit of the, you have to, with those gilding ones, because they're so liquid, it's better to really shake them well before you start using them. Otherwise you just get that liquid form first. Okay, so I usually do the darker color first. I can cover the whole wood there. And then a little bit of the light color on top of it, just in a few places. And for contrast we can use maybe this one's nice, or maybe actually I can use a bit so strong that literally just a little bit of it will do. Yeah. And for example, you can have this type of a, you can always just rub in more of them and mix as many different colors as you want and give that nice, really shiny rainbow effect. And if you want, you can just paint them just one color. Let's say we'll use this one. Let's do a bit of dark as well. And then on top of it, I can do a little bit of and it's a little bit of that opal. You can mix just whatever colors you want, whatever project you're working on, and that's the effect you can get. Now, the next thing that I'm gonna show you, you can also get metallic mists, and again, Daily Art, Stamperia, Pentart, Cadence, they all make metallic mists, which are used mostly in mixed media projects. I'll show you, I made my own and I used them on this box, and as you can see I sprayed the box all around, even the bottom of it, and I used how many colors did I use? I used dark blue, light blue, and some kind of dark aragonite gold. How did I make those mists? I just used a little sprayer, so put a little bit of water, not too much, depends how much you're gonna be using, but usually I use just that amount, and a little bit of the paint of your choice. So maybe we'll go to contrasting colors. So a little bit of dark, there. And just put the here, shake it well, and we have one color done. And we'll make the second one of the lighter. Again, I already have some water in it, too much. And again, you can use this one as well. And just a little bit of paint. Close it, shake it well so it has a chance to mix. Just a bit on the side. Yeah, and our mists are ready. Now with those mists, don't forget to wash the spray right after you use them, because once they dry, especially with those tiny little metallic particles, they will be very, very difficult to get them going again. And I will use maybe on this, so take the first color, make sure that you have some proper cover underneath for this kind of a project, and again the best is to do it outside, and also for the best effect is once you apply one color, dry it. Once dry, oh, so far we have this. Naturally it will look different depending what base you have. You can do it on a light base, you can do it on a dark, and then the second color, and again you can use as many different colors as you wish. A little bit of this, try it again. We've got this kind of effect so far, and of course you can use, as I said, as many different colors as you want. Like for this one I said I used 3 different ones. The background was blue as well, and then I applied gold and 2 other shades of blue. Just make sure that here it was over the stencil, as you can see, and also created that nice effect. Well, with spraying you will never know what kind of the final effect you will have, but it's very nice for projects like that, or on canvas and with different molds. It just looks perfect. Okay, so we'll take a little break now, and after the break we will be continuing with our project and painting our book-shaped box. So just stay with me and I'll be back with you in a few minutes. Okay, we're back. So we're gonna paint now our project, the box, and we'll try to get, well, similar effect and similar color scheme to this one. How did I do this one? Well, before I use the metallic paints, I use just the other plain color of acrylic paint for the base. So for this one I used brown, and we're gonna do the same here as well. So just we'll paint with, just so we have some kind of background. And since the back is leather effect and the inside is brown, I'm going for that brown base here as well. Too thick, just water it down a little bit, and make sure that, especially with that type of stencil, that all the little places are covered with paint. The more intricate pattern, the more careful you have to be with painting over it. And also you have to be careful with the edges, since we already have the side done. here. And here. Now, still some little spots that we can see. Okay, so once we have the base done, just as I said, plain acrylic color, we'll dry it a little bit. And before you start painting, it's good that you decide what kind of color scheme you want to go, which colors you want to mix and blend together, and get ready, you know, your brushes or sponge and all the things. So we're going to do something similar, so I'm gonna use those paints that I mentioned from Art Alchemy, designed by Fenebar from Prima Marketing. They are very easily available now in many countries or can be shipped abroad. And as I said, although the package is quite small, the paint is very, very thick, and really you need just a little drop to paint whatever you need. So I'll go with this color first. This is a nice dark, kind of like, can't remember the name right now. I think it was called hazel brown or hazel metallic. And let's see, okay. So I can always use this. So I'm just using the brush and I'm delicately brushing the paint from the top towards the center. Now, just like this. There is a great selection of these paints available. There are lots of different colors. There are sets of the colors that you can order as well, and there are also more liquid forms of them, and so you can really just choose whatever would suit you most. So I'm doing the painting from both the top and the bottom. It doesn't have to be even in all the places. That's the trick, that the more it varies, the nicer the effect is. Okay, so we have one color. And you can use as much as you want. If you want it a bit darker, then use even more. And the second color that I'm gonna use is that deep ocean, stormy ocean, this one was called. And again, you can see it's nicely, very thick, nice paint. And this one is not the dominant color, so I'm just gonna brush it in just in some places. Again the same thing from the top and from the bottom. Okay, maybe a bit more here. There. Yeah, that's yeah. Still need a bit more here. Okay, a bit more below. That's nice. Okay, there. So I'm using. I try not to use too many different colors. Usually I would go like 3 or 4. So we have 2 so far, and I'm gonna use Cadence Dora. This is Aragonite Gold, which is quite. It's the same that was here again, so it's like very dark. Something between brown and gold with a little bit of copper effect even. And for this one I'm gonna use a piece of sponge. Now this is a very thick paint, so just a bit on the sponge and sponge it in some places, maybe mostly over this stencil that I had, this design here. And on the edges of the book. Why am I sponging this one? It's up to you, of course. I just like those different, not just different colors, but also different textures. So when you use the brush, you have those brush strokes, but if you use the sponge, it has that more like a misty effect. Right, I think that's enough. And the last thing, I'm gonna use a bit of the gilding paint from Cadence again. That's Majestic Gold. Just too much, but anyway, use it for something else. And this kind of, I absolutely love that color. It's something between bronze and gold. And with this one, I'm just gonna spray a little bit of it. Well, I think that's fine. Should I add anything else for the contrast? No, I think that should be enough. I think that combination of those brown gold and a bit of blue, it creates a really nice effect. So this is our project at that stage. I hope you can see all the shining colors, which will be even more enhanced once it's varnished. So now we have to leave it to dry, and after drying we'll be varnishing. What type of varnish? Again, it's up to you. I used glossy varnish, glossy finish for this glossy finish really nicely brings out all that metallic paints, and they're very shiny then. So I'm gonna varnish that. Once you have that part done, of course you can attach an extra decoration piece, or like a little panel, or you can attach some metal embellishments. For this particular one I will have to put the hinges, because it's a different type of a book, so the hinges will go somewhere here and here. You have to measure it, of course, but so just to give you an idea of it, that will be the book. And not sure, I might attach an extra little panel on it. Right, so I'll just dry it a little bit and I will be back with you in a moment. Okay, so now we have to varnish, and the choice of varnish is yours, of course, but as I mentioned before, I think that the glossy finish just works best on those metallic paints. It really brings the paints out. So use a nice flat bigger brush. It's a bigger piece, so it'll be just easier. Just a regular water-based varnish. There's no need to use solvent-based or alcohol-based varnish for this project, as metallic paints are just simple acrylic paints, so they don't require that. Okay, that's one layer, and I would suggest use a few layers of varnish till you get that shine that you want. So this is our project almost complete. We have the leather effect, we have the stencil with metallic paints, and the rest is up to you. For this one I painted the inside just one plain color with wood stain, same here, but of course you can do whatever you want with the inside. And as I said, I will use the hinges for this as well, and don't know, didn't decide yet, but I might use an extra little a little extra panel on it, just to give a bit of extra accent. And as I said, yeah, you can use all sorts of metal embellishments, whether it's the metal corners or some other little pieces like in this one. It's all those final touches, it's all up to you. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this part as well, and hope you will stay with me for any other future presentations. Thank you.